The Three Little Elephants, based on The Three Little Pigs. Peyton is our narrator. Anna Julia is the big bad mouse. Janella is the first little elephant. William is the second little elephant. Stephanie is the third little elephant. And Jane the butler has been played by Lauren. You may begin.
Once upon a time, there were 3 little elephants who lived with their parents. When the elephants grew old enough, they went out to live in the world. They went out to live on their own in the world. The first elephant built a small wooden shack. One day, there was a knock on the door.
Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? It's the big bad mouse. Open up at once. Hello? Is anybody out there? Let me in. That's strange. Someone knocked on my door, but whoever it was, they seemed to have gone away.
Big Bad Mouse was frustrated, so he wrote a note and slipped it under the door. Elephant's door. It read, "Squeak, squeak, squeak. I'm the Big Bad Mouse. I'll rip up your garden. I'll tear down your house. I'll tug on your tail. I'll pull on your ears. I'm mighty and mean. I'm worse than fierce." Later that day, the elephant found the note.
A big bad mouse? Oh no, I never seen a mouse, but it sounds very scary. I imagine that it must be giant, much larger than an elephant. I'll bet it has big yellow eyes and sharp teeth. Oh no, help, there's a big bad mouse on the loose. I must run before it comes back to my house. I must run for my life.
The elephant ran through the wooden shack, tripping over tables and bumping into chairs. The terrified elephant left through the back door and ran all the way to the second elephant's house. The second elephant lived in a brick house. It was larger than the first elephant's wooden shack. It also had a doorbell, which the first elephant rang. Ring, ring. Hello? Who's there?
It's me. I'm so scared. There's a mouse on the loose. Can I stay at your house, please, please?
A mouse? I've never seen a mouse, but it sounds very scary. I imagine that it must be gigantic with a long tail and sharp claws. Inside quickly and locked the door behind me. A few minutes passed. The 2 elephants sat in frightened silence. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. The 2 elephants looked at each other in their terror group. Who could it be?
I'm not answering it.
Don't look at me. I'm not answering it either. The big red mouse kept ringing the bell, but no one answered. Finally, he grew frustrated and slipped the note under the door. It read, "Squeak, squeak, squeak. I'm the big mad mouse. I'll rip up your garden. I'll tear down your house. I'll tug on your tail. I'll pull on your ears. I'm mighty and mean. I'm worse than your fears." Oh no. This is terrifying. Now the big bad mouse has come to my house.
Oh no, what will we do? Where will we go?
There's a gigantic, frightening fierce mouse on the loose. Run, we must run for our lives. The 2 terrified elephants stumbled out of the house, tangling up their legs and tripping over one another. They left through the back door of the elephant's house. They didn't stop running until they came to the 3rd elephant's house. The 3rd elephant lived in an enormous mansion. It had a long driveway and a swimming pool. The 2 elephants rang the doorbell, and Jane, the butler, answered. As soon as she opened the door, they ran past her, shouting and waving their arms wildly.
Oh my, oh no, it's horrible, it's terrifying.
Help us. Do something. Call for help. Call the police. Call the army.
Get a hold of yourselves, both of you. Now slow down and tell me what you're so frightened of.
A mouse.
A mouse? Why didn't you say so? I've never seen a mouse, but I imagine a mouse would be humongous, larger than this mansion. I think it might have scales and it might breathe fire.
The 3 elephants howled in fear. They remained very still, listening with extreme care. After a few minutes, the doorbell rang.
Don't answer it, Jane. Why not, Master Elephant? It's a mouse, Jane. A humongous, terrifying, scaly, fire-breathing mouse.
Don't be ridiculous. Mice are tiny, furry creatures that scurry about and eat seeds and berries.
Jane went to open the door. The 3 elephants were so frightened now that their eyes were popping out, and their ears stood straight out from their heads.
Well, what do we have here? A little tiny mouse.
Would you please deliver this message to the elephants? Please tell them, squeak, 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 I'm the big bad mouse. I'll rip up your garden, I'll tear down your house, I'll tug on your tail, I'll pull on your ears. I'm mighty and mean, I'm the worst of your fears.
Elephants, come here. You must face your foe. I must say, he's not especially scary.
The three elephants walked nervously towards the door. The first elephant and second elephant were looking over the shoulder of the third elephant. The three elephants were so frightened. The three frightened elephants stared at the doorway, but no one appeared to be there, besides Jane the butler. They looked to the left, they looked to the right, they looked up, they looked down. There on the doorstep stood a tiny little mouse.
But you're so small.
You've never seen a mouse before.
Wow, you're really not very frightening at all.
You're so huge. I didn't know that this is the way you looked. You're very, very frightening. Eat elephants.
And with that, the mouse scampered off into the woods. At last, the elephants had seen the mouse was very small. They were never frightened of mice again. At last, the mouse had learned that elephants are very large and humongous. The mouse never again threatened to rip up an elephant's garden or tear down an elephant's house. Everyone lived happily ever after, except the big, bad mouse.
The end.